Alright. Oh, got a mosquito bite on my finger. It's pretty messed up. But I just wanted to make this because I recently seen someone that I worked with at Amazon when I was gone. Well, they were a younger couple. They were like actually younger than me. So like I think they were 22 to 25 or something. Couple, and they had pull behind travel trailer. And I think they had been doing the full time thing for like a year, maybe a year and a half or two. Um, but anyway, so we met and all that kind of stuff. So we became Facebook friends. And recently they were having troubles with their home, and it was like leaking bad or something like that. And they had started a GoFundMe campaign. I'm sure all of you know what that is. You've seen it all over the place by now. If you haven't, it's like Kickstarter, Indiegogo type thing. Also, except like GoFundMe, I guess you may get like more back or something like that, or it's more like charitable type thing. Well, they did that, and they said, what do they have to lose? Like, why wouldn't you exhaust all of your options? Like, it would just be silly if you didn't. And then you would probably regret it in the end, or you'd be like, man, we should have done that, and you never know what could happen. So they did that. Well, they said that they had posted it on a big Facebook page for full timers. If you all follow any of those Facebook pages, you would probably know by now which one it is, just because you get a lot of negative feedback from people. A lot of the time, that's why I don't really post anything on there anymore. I kind of just keep it just in case like I have any questions, and then I'll go to that page and search. But other than that, I don't have any notifications on it or anything like that. Well, they said they posted it on there and just said, hey, this is what's going on. I'm sure some of you have been through it before. You don't have to, but here's our thing. If you want to help support, and I think also like give words of encouragement, anything like that. Just like anything else, when somebody posts something on Facebook, you can scroll past it. You could hide it from your timeline. Just ignore it completely. You don't have to say anything. Well, apparently, a lot of people, which is not shocking to me because, like I said, this page you would know, people were just very negative, saying stuff like, if you can't afford the lifestyle, don't live it. Basically because they're young, they look lazy, is the idea with young people that do this now, and that they're looking for handouts, etc., etc. Work. How about you work for it? Blah blah blah. Anyway, I think you get the idea. Um, Again, it's not shocking to me because when I was working at Amazon, not everyone, actually, a lot of people, the majority of them were nice, or at least put off that they thought that it was cool to see younger people doing it. And you can honestly see a few of them that were honestly, interested in your story while you're doing it because you are younger. Things like that, and it's a majority of older people, retirees, and things like that. So for younger people to jump in, it's like a big thing because you stand out like, 10 out of 500, are young. Young as in below 35, 40, I guess you would say. They're used to seeing older than that. And so even though the permanent workers at Amazon were shocked too, they didn't know until later when they realized you were wearing the lanyard that said Camper Force, or the shirt, or you were hanging around with the Camper Force people. Then they're like, what? You're doing that? And they want to hear your story too, which is cool. But there were a few, very few, that you could tell were not happy to see the younger people there. And none of them came out and said it, but you could tell through their actions. And then eventually when I moved up to Louisville, you can really tell through their actions and words that they didn't like the idea of it. I started to feel that it was resentment there, whether it's because they worked their whole lives to find this lifestyle, or to work their whole lives to get to a point to where they could live this lifestyle and feel security in it, I guess, or whatever. Because we have that perception, the American dream as it was. You work, you have your home, your family, You do the regular thing, and then in the end, you retire and you have the opportunity, the freedom to go and do this. And it's been a dream for a lot of people, and they finally get to do it. Some of them feel that it's unfair, I guess, that we do it now and don't work until we retire, do our whole life thing and then get to do it. My thing is, why would I wait till I retire when I'm older and I can't do as much as I can do now, and I have nothing to lose right now? I have no children, I'm not married or anything like that, so why not? And even if I did have children, you could still do this. It's nothing against that. And if you were married and all this stuff, but I'm saying for me, like, I have no ties, so I can get up and go when I want to. If I did, then it would be a bit more planning and stuff like that, but, I'm only responsible for myself, so it makes it a bit easier on me. If anything does happen, I'll survive, hopefully. But, yeah, you just see a lot of that resentment, I guess it is. They don't want to see younger people jump into it. Some may just, it could be they're wording it wrong and they want to help to a certain degree, and so they're just trying to help you prepare and say you need to save them, blah, blah, blah. Well, we get that. Like, some of us are not dumb. Some of us maybe, but some of us aren't. And so we know we need to have that emergency fund, that money saved up, mechanical expenses and things like that. You never know what's going to happen. So we get that. So to come to us, especially when someone is in need and that's hurting or stressed, and say, if you can't afford the lifestyle, don't live it, and you're lazy, like you're young and lazy and you're just looking for handouts, that's messed up, especially when they work full-time jobs, especially when they saved up money to do this. They didn't just jump on a whim in a bandwagon just to do it. Okay. Oh, sorry, my alarm went off. But yeah, I think it's just messed up when someone's in a situation where they're in need and they're hurting and stressed, for you to come to them and say that they're lazy and they shouldn't do it if they can't afford it and blah, blah, blah. A lot of people do things they can't afford. Buy homes, buy cars, go on certain trips, go to, certain places, eat out every day, things like that they can't afford, but they do it anyway, and somehow they manage, although they're in debt. Like, if somebody's living an alternative lifestyle like that and they're not conforming to other things, you should be, like, supportive of them. I mean, if they're not doing anything destructive. I think it's messed up. But I see it. I see it on forums. I see it on Facebook pages, wherever else. Like I said, I see it in person when I was working out there. That some people are just resentful for younger people who are doing this lifestyle. I think it's messed up. So then they posted on their own personal Facebook page that they had taken it down from there because they were receiving so much negative feedback, and they were just putting it on their personal page, and and then some younger people start posting on there, and you could just see that, it's anyone who's done this and they were younger have seen this from people. I'm pretty sure, if you've done it long enough. Some people, like I said, are supportive, and they're like, man, I wish I would have done it when I was younger. I wish I would have known about this when I was younger. And it's like, yeah, it's true. Like, they would have done it when they were younger. They would have taken that chance or whatever, to live this type of lifestyle instead of doing whatever it was. Most of them would have. But then you have the ones that are just, like I said, I feel like they're just resentful because they didn't do it before, or they worked their whole life and they feel like everyone should do that. But that's not everybody's calling. It's not what they're supposed to do. And if somebody's doing it now, like I said, you should be supportive of them, especially when it's their home. Like, this is somebody's home, and you're telling them that they're lazy and if they can't afford it, they shouldn't do it. If it was somebody's actual, like, physical, like, home in the ground, what they call, like, sticks and bricks or whatever, would you be saying that if they did a GoFundMe campaign? If that roof was leaking in their home and it was causing mold and all kind of stuff, and they really couldn't do it on their own, and they did that, would you really be saying, oh, you're lazy if you can't live in that home, don't afford it? Like, if you can't afford to live in that home and do the repairs, don't live in it? It's the same thing. If these people, if this younger couple couldn't afford to live anywhere else and they had to live in this travel trailer, it wasn't by choice. They had to live in this because of financial reasons, which a lot of people do. You're saying that same thing. And even if it is by choice, it's the same thing. You're telling them, if you can't afford to live in a home, don't do it because you're lazy and this and that. You don't know these people. Just because they look young and they have dogs, and then they were talking about their dogs like they're not in a good home environment, blah, blah. Like, people, I don't know, I just don't get it. But I just want to make this because it's true. And so I just want to say to like the younger ones that are thinking about doing this or that are doing this, you know, you have people there that want to support you, or, you know, that will encourage you and stuff. So don't listen to all the negative people and all the negative things you see. You know, if you can't afford the biggest, baddest RV or whatever, but you still want to do this, do it. But you have to plan and prepare and everything. I mean, that's obvious. It's known. And you should know what you're getting into. You know, try it out a little bit first. But, and know you're going to hit these bumps in the road. But don't let some of these negative people get to you. These resentful, bitter people. You know, just, you know, live your life and don't worry about them. Because like I said, there's others out here like us. And, you know, we'll support each other when we see each other and things like that. And it's hard when you don't know other people are out there. But just to let you know, there are people out there, you know, and we always, you know, we go through things like they're going through that with their home. I just had to go through what I did with my RV and my situation, but, you know, if you want to still live the lifestyle, like, I still want to do it. I'm still pursuing that. Like, that's my goal. It's not just to sit around and do nothing. So, like, it's happening, but you got to go through these things, and you learn every time, you know, so just keep doing it. Don't worry about what these people say. But, yeah, I just want to bring that up because, like I said, I see it often, especially in those places when they're supposed to be supportive and give you information, this and that. Like I said, it's not everybody, too. It's a few, you know, people, and they try and make it like they're being nice and giving advice, but it's like, you know, it's obvious stuff. We know that we need this and that. Like, you don't need to say we need encouragement, and if you want to give, give. If not, then move on. Don't sit there and tell somebody that they're lazy. You don't know their story. But anyway, I just had to say that, get that off my chest, because, like I said, I see it often. But know that you are supported, and any of that, all that good stuff. I think there's a young, like, under 40s RV page on Facebook. I have to check it out. I don't know if it's just my notifications, but I don't see too many people posting on it. But, yeah, look for that. And I know there's some other options out there, too, if you need any support or any things like that with younger people. So, yeah. That's all I have to say. All right.